When planning a trip around Fukuoka, Kitakyushu isn't always the first place people think about. Many travelers head straight to Yofune, Beppu, or Hiroshima. But after spending a day in Kokura, I couldn't help but wonder, are we overlooking one of Kyushu's most interesting cities? In this episode of Side Trips, we're taking the Shinkansen from Hakata to Kokura to explore a city filled with history, local culture, retro streets, great cafes, and pace that feels refreshingly different. One of the best parts of this side trip actually begins before arriving. From Hakata station, the Shinkansen reaches Kokura in around 15 to 20 minutes, making it one of the easiest late trips from Fukuoka. Depending on the service, expect to pay roughly 2,000 to 2,500 yen one way for a reserve or non-reserved seat. Fast, comfortable, and before you know it, you're stepping into a completely different city. One thing I always recommend is stopping by the Tourist Information Center. Aside from maps and recommendations, I was warmly welcomed and introduced to Kitakyushu's stamp rally. There are 6 stamps to collect, 3 in Kokura and 3 more in Mochiko.
It's free, but please be careful because these 2 they didn't put outside. So please access.
It's a small activity, but makes exploring the city a little more fun. Just outside the station, if you see a line, that's Shiroya Bakery. It is famous for its omoretto, a soft sponge cake filled with cream, and inexpensive sweetbreads. Walking through the covered shopping arcade felt like seeing another side of old Japan. You'll see a lot of local bakeries, local restaurants, fast food, independent stores, pharmacies, cafes, and souvenir shops. Surprisingly, here in Kokura, you don't need to wait that long to get hold of the Il Forno delle Mignon's famous croissants. One of my favorite discoveries was a tea shop where the tea leaves were being roasted right in front of the customers. And even if you aren't buying anything, the aroma alone is worth stopping for. If you're looking for gifts beyond the usual snacks, this could be a great souvenir option. Rather than taking another ride, I chose to walk the 12 to 15 minutes to Kokura Castle. Along the way, the city slowly revealed itself. Historic red brick buildings, the Kokura Castle above the trees, breezes creating beautiful reading lines, and every now and then Shinkansen passing overhead, reminding you how seamlessly history and modern Japan exist together. Compared to some of Japan's larger castles, Kokura Castle is more compact. But what impressed me wasn't its size. It was how well cared for the entire castle grounds felt. The gardens were vibrant, the pathways spotless, and the atmosphere suggested this wasn't simply a tourist attraction. It was a place genuinely appreciated by the local community. By the time I reached the castle garden, it was already around noon. I was expecting more visitors, but instead I found something even better: peace and quiet. For a moment, it almost felt like I had rented the entire garden to myself. The bronze statues in the castle garden commemorate Miyamoto Musashi and Sasaki Kojiro, whose legendary duel is closely associated with the nearby area. Under the shade of the trees, with the castle standing just beyond the greenery, time seemed to slow down. It became less about sightseeing and more about simply being there. I took my camera out, wandered through the garden, and enjoyed the rare feeling of having no reason to rush. Travel doesn't always have to be filled with activities. Sometimes, a quiet moment like this becomes the one you remember most. After a few hours of walking, I ended the afternoon at Komeda Coffee. Yes, I ordered a hot coffee in the middle of the afternoon. As a Filipino, that's completely normal anyway. The original blend was smooth. The iced latte was refreshing. The real winner is the pancake with vanilla ice cream on top. thing I've started noticing during this trip is that shops away from major tourist districts often offer better value. Prices feel more reasonable, selections are still excellent, and you're shopping alongside locals rather than crowds of visitors. Now, if you're choosing between spending another few thousand yen shopping in busy city centers or using part of that budget to discover another city, I'd seriously consider the side trip. Kokura wasn't originally the highlight of my itinerary. It was simply a side trip. But somewhere between the Shinkansen ride, the shopping arcade, the walk to the castle, and local cafes, and even the quiet moments around the city, it became one of the places I'll remember most. If you're visiting Fukuoka and have a free day, don't overlook Kitakyushu. Come for the history, stay for the local atmosphere, take your time exploring the streets, enjoy a good cup of coffee, and leave room for few unexpected discoveries along the way. Sometimes the places we almost skip end up becoming some of the most rewarding parts of the journey.